Hello everybody and welcome back to building tutorials. And today I'm going to be working on the factory once again. So last episode I worked on building the walls here. So the walls are finished. I did a little bit on the ceiling. Now I did raise these walls up 2 more blocks. So I'm gonna have to change some things around here. Like this block here. This is going to have to get removed and turned into, I think this is gray. Yeah, light gray terracotta. It doesn't really look gray. It's kind of more of like a very light brown. But apparently it's light gray. So there's that done. Now, one of the things I was trying to figure out is if I should leave this here or get rid of it. I'm thinking about getting rid of this and just making it flat. Because last episode, I kind of started building what was on, my hat. So that's kind of what I'm basing this off of, is I'm trying to recreate the hat that I had on. I didn't plan this. I just happened to have the idea for building a factory. And I just happened to have the factory hat on. There's actually a few of these. I don't remember what the other ones are. I think there's one that's a store. And then I think there's one more hat. But they were kind of like free hats that they were giving out for, I think it was like a special building event. And I ended up getting them, and one of them is this factory hat. So I'm deciding to try and recreate it. Now, looking at the hat, I've got these little, triangle bits on the top, which is on this section over here, which is what I'm going to try and build today. Now, for the ceiling, I'm not really sure which color I'm going to do, because I could do brown, which is the same as over here, or I could do, a different color. I was thinking about using the gray terracotta for the triangles. Because if I put these blocks down here and then stand next to it, you can kind of see it's a very close match to the color on my hat. So I'm going to use this for the triangles. But I'm not going to do that right now because I need to get the top of it done. It's really difficult to really see the top. You can kind of see it a little bit in the little preview window. Actually, if I open my inventory and go to here, can I look down? There we go. So you can kind of see it in the inventory here. This kind of gives a better picture, but it looks like on the building, the triangles are the entire roof. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the brown, and I'm going to start it. Should I start it here? Okay, I'm going to start it 1 block in. So I'm going to do 1 block here, and then I'm going to start building it up. Now, from last episode, I was looking at the scaling, and on here, on their scale, 2 blocks up is kind of like 4 blocks in the Minecraft kind of scaling. So 2 blocks was here originally, and then that was way too short, so I added another 2 blocks. So looking at the hat, it looks like it's 1 block. So if we're going by double scaling, I'm going to increase this by 2. So this is 1 block high. This is 2 block high. Alright, so speaking of the scaling, I have to remember to basically do the scaling in both directions. So not only am I going up, I have to go on the side as well. So this area here, I'm actually going to get rid of it. And I'm going to do it by 2 blocks. That's hopefully going to give enough space to cover this entire thing. So I'm going to do 2 blocks there. 2 blocks here, and then go up another 2 blocks like this, and then I'm gonna have to go down as well. So I'm gonna have to build this. So how does it look on here? Alright, so I just finished building this. I think that looks a little better. It's not the same as what's on top of here, but I think out of the 2 designs, this one looks a little bit better than what I did before. So I think I'm going to make a second one. There's not really much of a gap. They kind of just start right next to each other on the hat. But as I just found out, following the hat's designs are not always the best, because they're using slanted block. They're not using the regular cubes that we have in Minecraft. Majority of it's made out of cubes, but those slants are not made out of cubes. And I don't have any angled blocks in Minecraft, so I'm going to have to do this, which seems to work. So I'm going to build this up to about this height. I think is the same height over there. And then if I build it back down, Hopefully it'll meet up. No, we're still 1 block off. Which is fine. I could move this entire thing. Well, no, we're 1 block off on this side as well. So that works out perfectly. They'll both be equal. So if I just go and fill in all of this, and there's actually like a bunch of space in here. I don't know if I could use this for anything. Don't get rid of those. But if I get rid of like these blocks here, there's all this space like right up here that could be used for something. At the moment, I don't have anything to put up here, but it's possible space that could be used. Okay, so I've just finished building the second triangle, and as you can see, it looks a lot better. Now, I don't know if I should bring these out another block. I guess I could, like, test it out here. I don't know if this will look better or leaving them on, like, 1 block behind. Let's see. I guess this one looks a little better because then it's on, like, the same layer as, like, the wall. But I could leave it. Well, what does it look like on the hat? I'm always referencing the hat. It's, once again, really hard to tell. But I'm pretty sure it's on the same kind of, like, block as the wall. So that's what I'm going to do for here. I'm going to build this out 1 more block. I'm going to have to do it on the other side, but I'm going to do that later. But there's the 2 triangles on the roof. Now, the next thing I want to build is I want to build the smokestacks, which this should be way easier. Now, before I do that, I got some glowstone here, and I want to put that up in here so these guys stop spawning. Oh, we've got an enchanted bow. Good for you. You must have gotten a lot of levels to enchant that. Yeah, it's always interesting to see, like, what kind of mobs and stuff will spawn in here. Which, speaking of mobs, I built this a long time ago. Let's go look at it. But I built a mob spawner over here. I don't know why the chests are, like, split up like that. But as you can see, there's a lot of stuff. And this is probably all backed up. Oh, it's actually not backed up too much. These aren't actually full. So this is my mob spawner. And as you can see, it works really well. Problem is the chests have decided to split apart. So I would have to, like, break one. Oh, how do I... Oh, that's... Oh, no. Okay. I'm not going to mess with that. I was going to go inside there to see if there was any mobs. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's actually any mobs in there. I might be a little bit too far away for them to spawn in. But that mob spawner works very well. So what I want to do now is I want to do smokestacks. So looking at the hat once again, there's like one over here in the triangle bit, and there's one on top of here. And they're made out of red and white. So I got to pick which block I'm going to use. Now, I'm either going to use the terracotta or the concrete. Now, I think most of this is made out of terracotta. I don't think I've actually used any concrete in this build yet. Let me see. Yeah, brown terracotta, light gray terracotta, and gray. Yeah, so they're all terracotta. Okay, so this is where the smokestack's going to go. It's not in the center, and it's not going to be in the center because this is off by 1. I could move the entire building like 1 more block, which I guess that would kind of help with centering these. So you know what? I might do that. So if I move this 1 back over here and then build this wall 1 more out, that should make this in the center. So at the moment, it's going to be off center, but I will change it later. And I don't actually know how tall I'm going to make this. So looking at the hat, how many do they have? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if they have 5 on there, it would technically be 10, probably. We'll see how tall 10 is at. If 10 is too high, then I'll make it shorter. I'm basically going to make it to a scale that seems reasonable for this. So at the moment, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be the 5th layer here, which already looking at the hat, the 5th layer is basically at the height of the wall. And it needs to be like a few more blocks. So I think going 10 blocks will be fine. So this is basically 6. And then this is 7. This is 8. This is 9. I might leave it at 9. Let me build the rest of this, see how it looks. And then I might just leave it at 9. Actually, no, I think I'm going to go 1 more up. We're going to go the full 10. So here is 10. So there's that. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to put, if I go to this layer right here. So I got some campfires here. I got a soul campfire. Does it have like different smoke or is it the same? It looks like it's the same. So I just kind of wanted to do a test to see if there's anything different. But if I put campfires in there, it'll now emit smoke from the top of the smokestack, which is nice. I probably could raise these up like a little bit more. That way it kind of like rises higher. I don't actually know the max height that the smoke rises in this. But if I put it on like this layer right here, and then put the campfires here, yeah, you can kind of see the flames, but you would have to be like up here to really see them. So unless you're like in the rocket ship over here, you're not really gonna see the flames. You can kind of barely see it from here anyway. So this is one of the smokestacks done. So I want to do one more of these, and I got to figure out where that's at. So looking at this, it's kind of like at the start of here and the second triangle. So once again, what block did I start with? I started with red. Is that the same on here? Yeah, they both end in white. So I'm going to start with red. So if I do 4 blocks here, and then I need to go 4 blocks in. So this is where it's going to be at, is right here. Break away all of this, and then I just have to like build it up. So once again, I'm going to do 10 blocks. On this layer right here is where I'm going to put the campfire. So I'm going to go and build those first. And now all I'm going to do is build the rest of the layers here. Alright, so I'm just finishing up the top bit here. And now both smokestacks should be done. They're both in the same spot. Yeah, so they're both in the same spot. This one's just like in the middle of the 2 triangles there. I think that looks pretty good. If I look at it with my hat here, yeah, I think that's pretty close to what the hat looks like. This one is slightly taller than that one, which makes sense because it's on like a taller building. They're both 10 blocks high. They're both made out of red and white. And the next thing on this, there's kind of like windows, and it looks like there's kind of like pipes. If I go back into the inventory here, you can kind of see, actually, maybe that's fencing. Yeah, I think those are supposed to be fences. You can actually kind of see the parking lot a little bit better here. So I think that's actually a fence. I was thinking that was like a pipe or something, but it looks like it's more like a fence around the parking lot. And then this bit here, there might be a door. Not really sure what that little bit on the right side is. But over here, I could put like a fence. And eventually I will put a parking lot in. But at the moment, I'm just kind of building the structure of the building. Which the next thing I want to do is I want to build an entrance. So I'm thinking about putting it over on this side. I don't know if it has like an entrance on here. I'm going to assume that little gray bit on the other side is kind of like the door possibly. So I'm going to put the entrance here because all the parking spots, if I go back in the inventory, you can kind of see like all the parking spots there. And then there's kind of like, I think it's probably like a crosswalk there. And then that's the door. So I think that is supposed to be the door. So I'm going to put the door here. And then there's going to be a truck entrance, which I still have to figure out how this is going to work. But I have an idea of having stuff get like sent in. I don't know if I want to put in the front because that might be where I put the parking lot. But I'm thinking about having stuff sent in to one of these sides and then goes out somewhere else. I'm thinking about having it get sent in on like this side and then go out this wall. The one thing is this spot is a lot bigger, which I kind of wanted to put the export station on like the bigger side and then have like the stuff that's being imported in be on like the small side. But I think it might be better if I import the goods here, manufacture them through here, then they come back around and then they export out here. I think is the best way to set this up. I think that's how I'm going to do it. So that's what I'm going to work on whenever I start doing the interior stuff, which is going to be next episode. Or I could do the parking lot. You know, maybe next episode I'll start working on the parking lot. And then I'll do the interior stuff. I might put some blue on the walls. I want to put something because it's very plain. So on my hat, there's kind of like blue, which I think is kind of like indicating windows. But if I were to put maybe something on the wall out here, just so it's not just a plain gray wall. That way there's at least something on here. But I think this looks pretty good. So that's basically going to be it for this episode. I got the roof and the smokestacks done today. Next episode, I'm probably going to work on the parking lot, maybe some interior stuff as well. I also might put some decorations on the wall if I think of something good to put up there. I was thinking about paintings, but I feel like that would look weird to have random paintings on the wall. So I might just put like some kind of design. But that's going to be next episode. So I'm going to go and end the episode here. So make sure to leave a like and to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.